third.
And I am Sharnice.
Sharnice what?
I never say that.
Say it now. They're watching.
I never say that though.
Say
It's
it
my
now.
signature, babe.
They're watching.
My name is Sharnice Simone Watson.
We are the Watsons. All right, what you got for me?
Do you think that anything changed when we got married?
In terms of what? Everything?
Yeah.
Expectations. You feel a sense of like ownership, and I don't know, you start to navigate it wrong. I think I know I did. You expect for like something to like flip, but you don't know what it is, and you just flip on the switch unnecessarily. And to be honest, I was just like this, and this, but why? You know. But you do feel that. I mean, think about it. That person dies or is in a deathbed. You make a decision. That's pressure.
It is.
You know, that's expectation. But, you know, we got to still keep it going like this. Can't just go from here to here, you know?
Yeah.
What you think?
I mean, I think I had an expectation that things wouldn't change. Just like, oh, we're married, and you just keep going about our day-to-day lives. But I think I realized, I mean, things changed immediately. I think expectations changed from both ends of like what you think somebody's supposed to be doing because you're married, or how this is supposed to go.
Yeah. Should they change?
I think it's a gradual progression. I don't think it's something that needed to be done immediately, and I think it's something that you talk about. What are your expectations when it comes to marriage? Not just what you think it is. I mean, it goes back to like roles and responsibilities. Automatically, now that I'm your wife, does that make me the person I'm supposed to clean up and cook dinner every single day just because now the wife title is there?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I understand your point. I think all of that does happen. It's supposed to happen. Now, what that is can be anything. Cooking doesn't just get delegated to the woman per se. It depends who has the knack for that or what makes the most sense, you know? Mm-hmm. But you do have roles and responsibilities that now need to be concrete because there are no other options, you know? So you don't get to not do, right? That's not a thing when you're a wife or a husband. Like sex, you don't get to not have sex with your wife or your husband. You don't.
I disagree.
No, I mean, in terms of like, you can't just say, I'm not doing this. Now, I'm not talking about frequency, you know, but like, you know, there's like, I'm in this Black Fathers chat, right?
Yeah.
And you know, dudes in there, like, I haven't had sex in weeks and stuff like that because my wife cut me off. Like, that's not a thing. As like a wife or a husband, you don't get to do that because in our country, you can only be married to one person. So you don't get to now say, I'm not doing this, although I signed this contract with you.
Yeah, but we didn't specifically say the frequency either in the contract.
No, understood, but you know what you know. So if the reason why the gentleman in the chat is complaining is because he ain't wait 3 weeks before. Now she got him on the in the batter's box. Now he waiting 3 weeks.
Yeah, I do think 3 weeks is excessive, but I just
the expectation.
The expectation. I think that sometimes things do change. I mean, even between you and I think for me things change. Responsibilities increase. I'm exhausted. That never happened before. Usually when I'm by myself and when it was just me and you dating, I can go on a date, go home afterwards. It's not, hey, work, cook, laundry, put kids to bed, this, that, and now making sure that, you know, you're satisfied at the end of the day. That didn't happen before.
That's the problem, though. People put the satisfaction of their partner at the end of the day, right? That needs to be one of the most important things, you know? But like you said, you have to learn how to navigate it because kids are a problem. Like, kids get in the way.
They really do.
You know, work gets in the way.
It does.
Right? But at the end of it all, it's only y'all two.
Yeah.
The kids do leave.
They do. I agree. And that's why I think it is something of a give and take. Understanding maybe this week might be a slow week, but next week you need to ramp it up a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, you need to talk. People have to talk. You can't just hold it.
Yeah.
But you also have to be cognizant of your responsibilities.
True.
You know, whether it be dates, whatever it is that a person likes.
Yeah,
you want to be cognizant of those things, and you don't want it to just fall all the way off.
I agree. So do you think that's something that could be practiced prior to being married?
Nah. Because it's just, you feel different. Mm-hmm. You feel so much different. And you wake up in the middle of the night, you're like, damn, I'm married. Like, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. You know, and it's like, everything is just different. Like, that's my wife, you know? There's a sense of ownership. That's my husband, you know? It is a contract. You do own that person to a degree. That's why you make decisions for them. That's why you inherit their wealth or their debt, because it goes both ways. So, you know, Mike Tyson said it. Everybody got a plan till they get punched in their shit. Mm-hmm. And then you gotta readjust.
Okay.
Some people can't, you know, but sometimes you get staggered or you get knocked down, but you gotta get up and you gotta shake it off. That's the only way you survive it. You know?
And how does that correlate to the conversation we're talking about now?
Because when you initially get married, you're like, damn, I have different expectations. I feel different. And now I'm pressing, right? Mm-hmm. When people start pressing, that's when they make a lot of mistakes, you know? And they get wobbled by the fact that they married. They're trying to do too much, overcompensate, right? Or expect too much at one time. But you got to shake that off, right? You got to get your bearings and say, okay, how do I navigate this appropriately so we can be successful?
Got it.
That's it. Shit, no joke. That ass. You know?
I do.
Like, I wanted to, like, you know, purchase the first crib on my own, shit like that. But then it's like, nope, it's not just me. This person can help me, you know? This person can complete me. You know, this person can help me navigate and get to these goals more expeditiously or better.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So, but again, you got to put your pride aside. You got to put what you thought was right. You know, maybe you got to reassess in order to get to the end goal. So that's how I see it.
Well, I guess my question is, for people who are listening to this that aren't married, obviously you hear that things do change, expectation changes. I mean, I think responsibilities, the way I think, job opportunities make a difference. I can't just jump at the next job. I got to think about benefits. We got to think about what does that look like for us together. That makes a big difference. So you're not moving by yourself. And I was just like, wow, this is complete adulting when you're really thinking about it and thinking about family versus you just being able to move. But so if people are listening to this and they're saying, hey, I want to prepare for marriage, although we know that there's some things that they can't prepare for, what are some things that you would suggest in preparation to marriage?
Men and women, or just both? Like what, combining? Or?
Do you think there's a difference when it comes to men and women preparing?
Yeah, I think that a lot of men aren't that honest, you know, in terms of what they won't accept, what they don't like, what they do like. For instance, I don't give a damn who says it. No man wants his name hyphenated. Period. I don't care who the woman is. I don't care who the man is. Right? You know, like there's certain things that men try to say, oh, I'm good. No, you're not. Right? And so those things that you are not good with, you need to be honest about. You can't find a man, right, with two balls that's going to say, yeah, I want my name hyphenated. That's not really a thing that we desire or look forward to. We want our houses that look, right, be perceived as being equally yoked, have the same name. We don't want her to have a different name and then the kids and myself have the same name, you know, or even my kids having a hyphenated name. Like, for men, that's not actually a thing. I'm just giving an example, right? But some cats will say, okay, right? But you left with some type of feeling right here, you know? As opposed to just diplomatically or eloquently articulating how you actually feel and why it's important, you know? So don't go for things that really aren't negotiable for you, right?
Okay.
Have a discussion. Let it be known, right? Converse about it. That's where you really get the fruit of all that labor, right? Of all the dates and the courting and all that. Now, once you get here, now you might have to do this so you can get better aligned, you know? But we as men have to be more honest.
Okay. So you're saying in general, one, you have to be more, men need to be honest in preparing for marriage. Honest with themselves and honest with their partner.
Yep. Honest with yourself first. This is not going to work for me. This is non-negotiable. Because it ain't stuff that, you know, like those things that everybody always say not negotiable, like what people can do for work, how much money they make. No, this is stuff like inner that you know is going to conflict you. You need to discuss that, right?
Yeah.
You know, and I feel like sometimes we don't do that, you know? And it's just those things that can seem superficial, but they're important, you know? So I think it's important to be honest. I think that households better align when people have and understand what their roles are, right? What their responsibility is, right? I think that the house can feel empty. It will be empty without a woman's presence, you know, in terms of like, even like what you do for work. So for me, like how you work-life balance yourself, right? You're not gonna let them kill you. And that's what can keep our house strong. Cause you gonna be here, you gonna take days off. You ain't gonna work. They ain't gonna work you to death, right? So now because of that, our whole house prospers, right? And in turn, I work differently than you. I don't want to say harder, but differently. I work more physically, right? And I have more like direct reports, so stuff like that, right? I have different people calling on me too, and you know I don't stop, you know. But with that, I've been gaining success, right? And I'm able to just work it, and provide, right? Whatever my part is, to the max. But only because this is whole because you're here. You know what I'm saying? In the sense of like a traditional roles.
Okay.
You know, like I'm always working, always out working, right? And you hold this down, which allows us to be uberly successful, you know? So I think that type of understanding is key too for people.
Men specifically, right?
Yeah, men. But women understanding that you grow up in these constructs, right? People can say what they want, but you grow up in these constructs. Me included. You grow up in them. You think they're right. We cater to them a little bit, or we've seen people around us do so. And so we kind of aspire to those things. If you can break them, then you can break them. But what we see, right, we kind of want to mimic a little bit, you know? So people just have to be honest, right? I kill the bugs around here. You know what I'm saying? Right now, as it stands, you do the majority of the cooking. You know? So some of those things are real, and people need to acknowledge them and stop acting like they shouldn't or run from them too. You know? The tradition isn't all bad.
So to recap what you were saying, can you give it a good recap of what you would suggest?
So I think men, especially alpha men, right, masculine men, love a feminine woman in all aspects that we think that she should be feminine, you know. You know, the house, the kids, getting us in line, right? Clothes, doing the closets like you did, you know. And also in turn, like, babe, you know you gotta do this. Nope, get off the phone, right? That accountability part from your wife hits different, because if men don't say it, they need to. That affirmation from your wife, from the woman in your life, if you don't have a wife, goes further than anybody else's, right? So we can be hard on the exterior, but if she says good job, it goes further. And if he don't tell you that, he just needs to, that's all. And at the same time, you need to affirm him, because we don't get it. We don't get all the pats on the back. But when you pat us on the back, it goes a lot further. So that's support.
I'm going to end this out. So that's another episode of Wife Life. If you haven't already, please like, share, subscribe, follow all of that with YouTube. And then also follow us on Instagram on wifelife.style. And if you haven't already, you're more than welcome to support us at wifelifestyles.com. Thank you.